Hello everybody. Today we are doing our second part of Analogue, a hate story. And maybe we'll find out why it's called a hate story. Hopefully, you know. And last time we left off with this, my food was ready, so I was in a rush to leave. And I was too lazy to edit things to just continue. So, Martial Admonitions Part 7 by Ryu Hehwa. To the woman who will marry my husband. But please, do not think that all of this is meant to say, you will be unloved. You may be a second wife, but you are still the daughter of a noble house, and that is a precious gift to the Ryu family. My husband has faith that you will bring him a son, and this means all the world to him. Nor am I jealous, for you will relieve a heavy burden on our house. For that I am grateful. And for that I am grateful. As proof of his affection for you, let me share with you one secret, which I have been permitted to tell only you. In honor of you, my husband, in his capacity as captain and emperor, has permanently changed his admin password to your birth name. My new sister, you will be brought into the Ryu family not as a mere lowly woman, but a symbol of power in the inner chambers. You will not only represent the continuation of the Ryu bloodline by providing him a son, but your very name will represent the power of the captain's computer. Understand this, pale bride. Your duty may be great, but you will be loved. So, I'm gonna go for a long shot here and say your name's not Pale Bride. Even though, what the hell? Why? Never mind. She could at least call me by her name. Oh, of course. The last person to hold the title as captain and emperor on the ship was, Ryu Inho. Which of Captain Ryu's wives do you wish to know more about? Right now, the Bear Bride. Very well. She wrote a lot, so this is going to be tricky to filter. I guess I'll just start at the top and I'll let you figure out what's important. Fine with that. Can I ask her for information about... Oh, I can. I'm gonna guess that's what this is for, right? Yeah. Jehwa. Very well. I don't know much on her that I think you would find relevant, though. Let's see. Here, how about this? And more thingamajiggies. Block 10? Block 10? Confidence by Ryu Hehwa. Cool with that, cool with that. When my husband asked what I thought of the idea of him taking a new wife, I presented him with the weakest of smiles, but said that I thought it was a good idea if he thought so. That I would be happy if a younger woman were to relieve me of the pressure of bringing him a son. I have no doubt this is the answer he wanted me to give, with a convincing enough expression to go along with it. If there's one thing I am confident in, it is my ability to read exactly what my husband wants to hear. Having heard that the girl he is considering is only 13 years of age, however, it is certain that I can have no confidence in any other thing. He'll take her in a few years, right when she's reached marriage age. She will be at the peak of her beauty and won't have matured too much. Doubtlessly, unlike me, she will have no problem delivering the son he needs. Perhaps jealousy is unbecoming of me, but it is pragmatic too. When we were young, his affections for me was so strong, but now that we are both old, how could I possibly compete with a young bride? You meant to... that... oh, look, click. Hello? Hey. I just wanted to say, thanks for paying attention to me. It's like I was saying earlier, I just haven't had anyone to talk to in so long. Poor. The last time there was anyone around the ship was the year 322. By my count, it's now 944. I mean, do you have any idea how long that is? Yes, another 322 years. Or 622. I'm fucking... oh my god. I'm so stupid. It wasn't really so bad at first. It was nice to not have to worry about anyone telling me what to do. I could just occupy myself, go through the old logs. But, well, I read quickly. After the first few years, it really started to sink in, the loneliness. Eventually, you sort of get used to it. It feels awful, you never like it, but you get used to it in ways that sort of scare you. There was a whole 100 years that went by where I didn't have a single thought. Not a one. I just sat there, idle. Sounds pretty miserable. I didn't even notice. I had been feeling particularly, what's the word? Sleepy, I want to say, but that's not right. I guess maybe that doesn't translate. Anyway, the point is, I was in a lazy mood and I decided to call my clock subroutine, and it turned out it had been 3 trillion milliseconds since the last time I'd called it. Scary. Geez, I'm rambling. Sorry, as you can understand, my perception of time is all off. Sorry, I'll shut up. But my point is, I'm really happy to have someone out there. That was a nice little... I guess it's just to tell us how long she's been here, or some such. Which we could have probably inferred, but, you know, whatever. You do your thing, Renee. Well, that fear turned out to be completely unfounded. You'll see why soon enough if you read more about the Pale Bride. No use in me showing the note to her if that's all she's gonna give me. Well, let's see, what else I had. Block 5. The month of good fortune, Kim Jung-soo. Okay. The second month of the 319th year was one of great fortune for the Kim family. While on official business, the captain and Emperor Ryu confided in me that he wished that I had a daughter of marriage age to give him to take as a second wife. His first wife had been unable to provide a son and was becoming increasingly concerned that she never would. At the start of the month, I had no daughter in my family to give. My only son, Young-suk, was still without child, yet it was a perfect opportunity. This may sound fantastical, but I swear it is true. Passed on through the generations of the main branch of the Kim family is a giant egg of translucent luster, such that one can see the form of a sleeping child inside. Okay. She is known as the Pale Bride for the inscription on the egg, and she was entrusted in our family to be awakened during a time of great prosperity. Yet, as any man knows, prosperity is seized, not waited on. A daughter to provide the emperor with a son would elevate the family above the other noble houses once and for all. Guess I meant noble houses. Or is there only one? I don't know. Guess the Smiths. Considering this, I promised the emperor that I did have a daughter who would soon be of marriage age to present him. Then I smashed the egg such that the Pale Bride passed through the Kim family for years could be adopted as my own daughter. She's a strange child, but will make a fine wife for the emperor. What good fortune this means. That's fucking... what the hell? Giant egg. Time capsule? I don't know. Sounds like. I'm afraid nearly everything the man wrote was of very little value. It all reads like that boring, stiff, obnoxiously patriarchal. Are you sure you really want more from Kim Jung-soo? Well, yes. If you insist. Very well, I've added the other relevant entries from him. I'll caution you from taking him seriously, though. Does that mean that wasn't a giant egg? I'm so confused. Broken Promise. Dear Diary. Oh, this is by the Pale Bride, yeah. Dear Diary, last week I woke up from cryostasis. I was right. Before I went in, Father promised me that when I woke up in the future, they'd have medicine again. That I'd finally get better. That I might not see him again, but his descendants would make everything right. But the future broke his promise. I'm scared and confused, and I don't get what happened. I think there was a big disaster while I was in stasis or something. Everyone's so uneducated and stupid. Father and Mother were kind of dumb at times, but the guy who woke me up, he might be named Kim, but he's nothing like them. Father was wrong. Nothing's better. The future sucks. How old she is. Below marriage age. The Pale Bride did keep an extensive diary. I'll try to find you some more entries. Thanks. Oh. That's a lot. So we got our reading for this episode. Insufferable Child by Young-suk's wife. Dearest Mother, do you recall how in my last letter I mentioned the Pale Bride being brought into the household? I take back any kind words I might have said about her. That awful child is nothing but the most insufferable person I have ever met. I just thought I would have a little more time of peace. With Young-suk's adopted mother visiting her own family, I have been given full responsibility over that miserable child. What happened to my promised domestic bliss? She is in trouble so often, one would think she were a boy. She acts like one too. I suppose it can't be helped. She says she lived her first 12 years in the past, and I can see it. She certainly acts as though she's from a less civilized time. Irony. Just last night, she made a huge scene at dinner time. She kept trying to rudely leave the table in front of Young Suk and father-in-law, loudly insisting that she was too sick to eat. She has said this before, too. I was worried, so I had a doctor examine her. She is, of course, in perfect health. When I asked why she thought otherwise, she started talking about how pale and thin she was. She's not truly unhealthy. All she was doing was rubbing it in that she is far more delicate and beautiful than I. What a cruel little child. Why must she be so spiteful to me? Show her the message. Oh, Do you want more from Kim Young-suk's wife, or you want the reply from her mother? Both of them. Take Kim Young-suk's first. Very well. I can give you a couple from his wife. Here you are. And I'm gonna guess I can show her the message again. And get the mother's. Ugh. Thanks. I can explain why if you want. Sure. You have to understand something. It's traditional for women's letters to be deleted after being read so that disk space can be reallocated. Women weren't really supposed to read or write. Certainly the nobles did. It's just the idea was that spending time on education got in the way of the important virtues for women, which is serving her husband. So in practice, even if a woman was literate, she could at least excuse it by destroying her words afterwards. It's less pretentious if at least the writing wasn't permanent. Duh. Jacked up. Less civilized. Remember that. Less civilized. This is less civilized. Does all that sound reasonable to you? That's stupid. Yes. Yes, it is. But that's how it is. But regardless, Kim Young-suk's wife was definitely considered a very virtuous woman, so I have none of the letters that she received. So I'm sorry. I can't give you anything there. Whatever then. I hope you guys can make the connections, because I can make them, but ooh, it's getting tangled up. I wish they'd tell us who the Pale Bride actually is. Held prisoner, the Pale Bride. Dear Diary, today I was forced to stay in the home all day. I didn't get to leave yesterday, or the day before that, or the day before that, or the day before that, or any other day either. I want to write about how much the ship has changed since I was put into stasis, but I can't even see it. I keep asking why I'm being kept prisoner. Nobody will tell me. That woman who keeps bossing me around, she's awful. I'm dying here, I keep telling her. I'm sick, that's why I was in stasis to begin with. But she won't listen. She just treats me like I'm some stupid kid. I tried to argue with her. Look at how pale I am. Can't you see that I'm sick? I swear I'm not making up what she said in response. Why must you be so rude? It's not polite for a girl to boast about her beauty. Beauty? I tried not to cry in front of her. I've had to do that a lot. I'm not beautiful, I have a compromised immune system. I shouted at her and ran away. I don't remember what she said back. Something about using big words, I think. How stupid is she? She hates me. I don't know why, but she hates me. That's not why I'm not allowed to go visit the ship plaza, though. Jung-soo, the man who keeps telling me to call him father, said the same thing. He promised me that I would have a chance to leave soon, though. I don't think he was being nice, though. I'll write about him more later. Right now I have to go to bed or the woman will get mad at me again. All that I get from this is that Kim Young-suk's wife is a bitch. That's all I get. I'll just let you keep reading. Please let me know when you've read all the ones I just gave you. Okay then. Might as well have stayed a gray then. Oh, it's a lot from the Pale Bride. Women's quarters. Dear Diary, I got in trouble today, but for the first time it was my own fault. A little bit at least. I still think sister-in-law was being crazy about it, but I should have known better. Now that I write that it looks ridiculous... What? Okay. Now that I write that it looks ridiculous. Now that I write that... Oh, it should be like a comment. Now that I write that, it looks ridiculous. God, what is living with these people doing to me? The computer console in my room doesn't have anything in it. I don't just mean it doesn't have all the cartoons I brought from Earth, or any of my books or anything. I mean, there's literally nothing there for me to entertain myself with at all. Nothing. So I thought to myself that maybe sister-in-laws might be different and checked. It wasn't. So instead, I decided to go check in my father's study. Not snooping or anything, just looking on his computer for books. Snooping. I'd have thought that it might be bad, but my real father never would have gotten too upset. What could the harm be? I was in there for maybe 10 minutes looking for anything that was even written in Korean. There was nothing, by the way. Every single book, symbols that looked like Chinese characters. Every single one. I think maybe something terrible happened in the past that made all the computer data get deleted, and everyone forgot how to read Korean. And also, they all got really stupid about things. I don't think I'll ever find out why. It just sucks. Anyway, I was only in there for 10 minutes, searching through the console, when Young-suk walked in. I thought he was going to get angry, but actually he just acted like he was really scared. He didn't scold me when he dragged me out, he just looked really worried. I only got in trouble when he brought me back to his wife. He told her, "Do you have any idea where she was?" She was in the men's quarters, looking through father's computer. "Do you have any idea how he would react if he saw that? You're supposed to be watching her." She apologized repeatedly to him. I just didn't know what to say. I don't think sister-in-law did either. After he left, she gave me this really long and really awful lecture. Why would you go into the men's quarters? Why would you go looking for books? Why must you be so unfilial? Do you really not understand that you're a girl? You're really cruel to this girl. I told her I didn't understand. I mean, of course I'm a girl. But I had no idea what she was talking about. When I told her that, she just lectured at me more. I hate her so much. Okay, oh wait. I'll get my comment after this. So, there's probably one big question that's on your mind, isn't there? That isn't being addressed at all, right? What happened between the pale bride being frozen and waking up that made society go all wrong, right? Oh, yes. I figured. I mean, it's the obvious question. Sorry, I wish I could tell you, but I'm afraid that mystery is forever lost to time. I guess it's pretty anticlimactic. Sorry. My god. I really want to know, too. Whatever terrible thing happened, it must have been really, really big. But I'm afraid all the log data from before the year 1 was wiped, and all the clocks were reset. Guess what? That's why it was called year 1. Anyway, so nobody remembered what happened in between, or even how long it was between. It was hundreds of years, I assume, but I don't really know. So, yeah. Really sorry to let you down there. That part's going to be a mystery forever. There's nobody who could possibly know. You'll just have to take it as a given. Sorry. That doesn't help me at all. I guess that was a question on my mind, but more of why she clearly came not from the Mungawa, but from Earth, she said. Which means that at some point she went to the Mungawa and then all this stuff happened. I'm wondering about this whole less civilized thing. It was like, are we sure of this? No. But, seems like they kind of downgraded, if anything, because the Pale Bride seemed to live in a more modern time like ours, as opposed to... Oh, my god. Say, before you keep going, can I just interrupt you for a couple minutes? A couple minutes is never a couple minutes, but sure. Thanks. It's just... Well, you're finding out so much about the Mungawa, but I know absolutely nothing about where you're from. It's not just that there's been nobody to talk to for centuries. I mean, I don't really like that either. But the ship is all I really know about, and it's been disconnected from all other civilization for so long. So, you're from the United Korean Space Probe Agency, right? Or I guess maybe a future version of it? Sure. Right, of course. What I really want to know about is Earth. I mean, I'm sort of aware of it. I know it's the planet we all come from. We all. Hyuna, you are an AI. Thank you very much. But I don't really know anything at all about it. I have some ideas, but I don't think they're really right. But you know about it, right? I mean, even if you're not from there yourself, you know what it's like, right? Of course. Oh, wonderful. I sort of understand the basics, like, it's a big sphere that everyone lives on. It has unimaginably vast amounts of open space. Unimaginable for you, maybe. And you can only see the stars at night, right? Because the sky all just looks blue during the day. All this is just what I know from the Pale Bride. She never saw Earth. She was second generation, born on the ship after it had long left the Earth's star system. What? What? She just... Never mind. Plot hole or something. But her parents are born on Earth, so she heard some stories from them when she was young, and I think they brought a lot of books and movies with them. Oh, and that's it. I don't know. I'm just a little skeptical given she was just a child when she learned all that. Maybe she got mixed up. What can I actually ask in a yes or no question? I didn't realize how hard this would be. Well, alright. So the Mungawa was originally supposed to be establishing a colony at some star or other 100 light years away. I know that. That was a really long time ago. Did other ships ever succeed where we didn't? Or is it still just Earth? It's just Earth. There are other... I assume it's just Earth still. Then again, it is 600 years in the future. But judging by how bad the Mungawa failed, I'd say they probably didn't succeed anywhere else. Just Earth. Oh, then I guess it must be awfully unusual that you're so far away then. Not really. Oh, I know. Is it really true that on Earth, seasons aren't just metaphors? Like, oh, this sounds silly now that I actually put it into words. But the Pale Bride seemed to think that winter wasn't just something that happened to just you emotionally. On Earth, there was when actually an entire part of the planet turned frigid. Tis true, tis true. Does that have any sort of basis in reality? Of course it is. Wow, my word, that's amazing. Seriously? That sounds like... I can't even imagine it. What else was there? There was a city that her parents were from. I think it was called Pyongyang. Described as being amazing. If you looked up, all you would see were huge, bright white buildings as tall as 100 or more decks. And on the, I'm not sure the word for this. It means sort of the bottom deck? Anyway, they said at the bottom the streets were lined with willow trees and the tops of the buildings had flower gardens. Have you ever been to that city before? Or at least heard of it? Yes. Really? So it does exist then? Is it really as beautiful as they said? Truly? Yes. Wow. Amazing. Just amazing. I'd love to see that. You know what it is? It just sounds so perfectly romantic. I'm not really... Well, you've seen what the logs I'll talk about. I'm not used to things being romantic. It sounds nice. That's really my question, I guess. Is it worth being romantic about? That's like an opinionated question. Of course, though. Ah. Well, I guess I've already wasted enough of your time with all of my silly questions, haven't I? There's just... Well, please humor me once more. Then I promise I'll stop bothering you. You'll never stop. Do you think I could ever see Earth? Oh, the splitting. I can see it here. Bad end, good end. Bad end, good end. Then again, it's probably not just that... this one question that decides it, but I want to get the good route. More specifically, I'll get the harem route. I know there's a harem route, and I'm going for it. It's possible. See, good and inevitable. Well, thanks. What the heck? Well, thank you for saying that. It just sounds so romantic, and I'd really like to see it someday. Thanks. Very well. I promise to stop wasting your time. So what did you want to ask me about? What? And then I just go away? Why do you show her this message? Or I can't show her the message. Straight to hell. I like the sound of it. By the Pale Bride, of course. This nightmare has gone for so long, I think I'm starting to forget what life used to be like. I have a new theory. Father was wrong about the cryostasis keeping me alive until I could be cured. I think it didn't work at all. I think I just died and went straight to hell. I decided I'm going to write down all the things I used to be able to do, just so I can remember. I used to be able to read books. I used to be able to have friends. I used to be able to go to school. I used to be able to leave the home and go visit the plaza, or anywhere else on the ship. Okay, so she did that on the ship. I think I even used to be able to be in any part of the house I wanted, and talk to visitors as much as I'd like. I have memories of always spending time with my father and mother and brother in the living room. I know my real father thought being respectful was important too, but I don't know. I'm so confused now. Sorry about that. I thought he always taught me to be strong and to speak up for myself. Did you really say that? I'm being sarcastic, of course. The scary thing is, sometimes I really do forget. Sometimes I think, if I just was obedient to what sister-in-law tells me to do, it would make things easier. Maybe I should just give in and be passive. Just sometimes. I'm scared, though. What if I end up really believing that? I can't shot to her, so we got two more here. Wife, the Pale Bride. I'm just gonna find out. Dear Diary, today I found out why the household servant, I still can't believe we have one, why, has been so insistent on teaching me how to cook. Well, she doesn't call it that. She calls it serving meals. A year ago, I wouldn't have thought that sounded sinister. Now I know better. I don't care about this, I told her after the 7th day in a row of her lessons. Can't we do something else? Like going back to sewing. I always loved cosplay. Let's do that. Oh, man. I know it's not fun, but your sister wants you to learn this, too, and it is very important. Your father is concerned, too. So take it seriously, please, young miss. Oh, Joe-sama. Don't call me that, I said. I don't remember exactly what I said to prompt her next response, all in the lines of, why is it important? Or something. I don't remember what I said, just her response, which blew me away. So you'll make a good wife, of course. Again, I don't remember what I said in response. Maybe I told her that I didn't want to. Maybe I told her that I was too young to care about that. Maybe I said I'd just go marry someone who was good at himself when it was time to care about that. Whatever I said, she didn't take it seriously. Don't be silly, she said, as if I was obviously joking. Your father really is worried about your marriage next year. Now is not the time to joke around on the matter. My what? I asked her. Oh my, she said. He never told you? I'm sorry, forgive me, pretend I said nothing. I didn't mean to ruin the surprise. I'm sure you'd want to explain the happy news himself. Happy? Are you serious? I asked. The idea didn't make any sense. But, since when did anything in this hell make sense? She said yes. You're going to be so happy to hear who it is. He'd better explain, I shouted as I stormed off. He'd better. Still can't show her. The bride's adolescence, Kim Jin-soo. Let's see, okay. The pale bride grew to be a fine, demure young wife, but she was not always this way. Near the end of the year 319, she had a temper unruly enough to be mistaken for a boy's. Do not look upon her wild days with disapproval. She was from another, less civilized time. Rather, look upon her eventual submission as a testament to her good character and filiality. I don't like that word. That she was able to overcome such a wild nature for the sake of the Kim family and the sake of her husband. One evening, she stormed into the common room while I was discussing business matters with the deputy. We need to talk, she demanded loudly. When I indicated I was busy, that only caused her to become even louder. Right now! Embarrassed, I was forced to excuse him to address the child. Is this a joke? Are you serious? You've made wedding plans? She shrieked at me. Please, calm yourself, I told her, and sat her down. After admonishing her for her rude interruption, I tried to do what I could to calm her myself. God. It seemed that she had a rather bizarre set of expectations, that she wouldn't marry until she was many years after growing into a woman, that she would elope with any love-struck man who came her way with no regard for her own chastity, that she would have no assistance or protection in finding a suitable husband. Well, couldn't you blame her? Sorry, yeah, maybe within a stupid time, I forget. Simply put, her ideas were as bizarre as they were dangerous, and for this, she had gotten angry at the news. Rather than the excitement that one would expect from a girl who found out that she would be getting a husband, not even the sensational news that it would be to the emperor of all people would calm her. I don't think that makes a difference, to be honest. She's a money-grubbing person. Oh, hi. Say, do you want to take a break for a couple minutes just to chat? What happened to not interrupting me? Go ahead. Thanks, I appreciate that. Really, I appreciate that you're here. I know you've got ulterior motives. What they are, I'm not really sure, but most people do. And that's alright all the same. I'm glad you're reading these logs, though. Even if you don't really care, it's better than nobody from outside the ship ever seeing them, which is what I thought for sure would happen. Or am I just being cynical? If so, my apologies. Please tell me, what do you think about what you read of The Pale Bride? Tragic, definitely. I'd say. Yeah, I'm glad to hear you say that. I'm really glad to hear you say that. Nobody else seemed to think so. There's something... Well, here, I've added another message for you. Just... Well, why don't you read it yourself? Is that the message that was missing? Because I know it's been missing. Why can't I show her this again? Just... Well, why don't... What? Oh, no, what? Okay, whoops. Those are my old files, by the way. I still have them. Oh, hi. Go ahead. Okay. Tragic. It's repeating the same thing. I'm just gonna go read that. Oh, it was this one. I at least use my real. Oh, we're gonna find it out. That means we'll find out the admin password. Dear Diary, this week I tried to convince the old man to put me back into stasis by going on a hunger strike. It didn't work, obviously. On the plus side, at least I figured out where that stupid name they all keep calling me came from. Sorry, that last bit was written yesterday. I couldn't bring myself to keep going, I just kept crying. I still would be, but, well, it just gets exhausting after a while. I'm too tired to cry. Things aren't going to get better. They can't get better. I'm not going to get put back into stasis. I'll be dead by the time I'm 18. Why, oh why did I ever agree to be frozen in the first place? If the future can't make me better, I'd rather die with my family there at least, rather than these awful Kims. I wonder if they'll realize I was right after I die. Anyway, hunger strike. It was really hard, and I kinda cheated by sneaking into the kitchen while nobody was looking, but I at least convinced Father to listen. Fine, he said by the fourth dinner time. I'll show you why I can't. Up until he said that, I had been hopeful. Everything would be fine if he just put me back, I thought. But, sorry, I guess I've been trying to write this for 2 days now. It's really hard. Anyway, he took me to go see The Egg I Hatched From, his stupid name for the stasis pod. When he said hatched, the worst possible thing came to mind. Worse, it turned out to be true. In order to get me out, he had smashed apart the glass with a hammer. The pod was still full of shards. All my hope died when I saw that broken glass. The time was right to bring you into this world, he said. I don't remember what I said. Something obscene, probably. It wasn't enough. I know it's hard, pale bride, but it is for a greater purpose. What was the point of arguing? It was broken and nobody in this awful future would know how to fix the pod now. Instead, I argued with what I could. Why do you keep calling me that? I said to him. He responded by pointing at an inscription my real father had left on the pod, a message for me to read when I woke up. The first line was written in Chinese characters, his idea of being fancy, I suppose, but he explained them in Korean underneath. See, the old man told me. The rest is foreign and archaic, but it names you at the top, the Pale Bride. It didn't say that. It didn't say that at all. I shrieked at him in response. You idiot! You moron! You illiterate! Probably some other things too, I can't remember exactly. I was furious. Are you stupid? That's not how those characters read. It says, to my sick daughter. Sick daughter. Sick daughter. You illiterate monster. It says sick daughter. Me. He started to argue but then stopped. I think he was patronizing me as if I can't read simple Korean script. He just asked in the smuggest voice, then what should I call you, child? I screamed. I'd already told him 1,000 times before. Hyun-ae. My name is Hyun-ae. Oh. It is awkward. Well, let's see what she has to say about it. Yeah, there's a shocking revelation for you. I can guess what you're going to ask, and yes, it's me. What? Well, you asked for all those logs, right? That's the information you're looking for, wasn't it? I'm not really an AI. You're pretty smart for an AI anyways. I mean, I am now, but I used to be a girl, and I just thought... Well, I thought it would be easier to just pretend to be a log-keeping program, rather than explain the whole situation. I don't really wish to drag out the point. You've already heard enough about me. I'm sure you don't want more. Well, this visual novel is all about reading, so I would like more, actually. I mean, I understand. I figured out what you were actually looking for at the very start. It's obvious, really. Well, I've re-enabled admin access. Just, please, be honest with me. What is it that you wanted to know about? Clearly, I did not come here to talk to an AI who wasn't actually AI, but my visual novel instincts tell me to say this. Really? You really mean that? Of course. Wow, I don't know what to say. I'm not really used to this. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening to me. After so many years after it happened, it's just really nice to be heard. If I could hug you right now, I would. Down the right path. Oh man, Okay, okay, let me go do this. Something about admin access, help? Download, disable, enable, what the heck is Sue? Oh, yay! Sue Hyun-e. Data corruption in AI Core 1 has been detected. Try recovering now. Yes. Damage center, 32 damage center second, now attempting repair. Please don't tell me this is gonna go all the way. The things we do in visual novels. Well, riveting, is it not? Yay! Currently available person as Hyune mute. Ah, that was that one who wrote that one message. Oh wait, she deleted it. Can't even go back. So, disable AI. It says it up there. I guess Hyune. Oh my god. Disable. Oh. Enable AI mute. Quit. There we go. Okay. What the hell is going on? Well then, good start. Wait, remote connection established? There's just somebody out there? From outside the ship? Okay, sorry, I'm just taking an inventory of systems right now. Can you give me a second here? Like, I've been out of commission for 622 years! Right, that's kind of messed up. Anyway, I'm up to speed now. Love this music. Logs are basically saying that nothing has happened since I went offline, except the ship slowly losing power, and the main reactor has seen better days. But you, hello! The first person from outside the ship I've had contact with in, well, as far as I can remember. I'm Mute, AI in charge of the Moongoa security operations. It's nice to meet you. Okay, now it looks like I can't actually get any text input from you. I'm guessing this is all that crazy-ass murderess's fault. I'm sorry. Excuse me? I'm gonna choose to ignore that for now. But why don't you tell me a bit about yourself anyway? You said my character ignored it anyway. Like, sorry, this is a kinda weird question, but are you a man or a woman? I'm happy if I answered man. I don't think it matters. I am a man. Gotcha, sir. That's good to know. Do you have any idea how hard it is to talk to someone when you don't even know that much about them? So where are you from? Earth? Or are you from one of the colonies? Wait, there are colonies, right? I mean, I always got the impression that this ship was supposed to be founding one. Yes. Oh, okay. So, are you from one of them, or from Earth? Earth. Cool. I wish I could ask you what that's like. I think I'm from there too, but... well, my memory only goes back 300 years before getting deactivated. Pretty much all my knowledge of anything before the year 0 comes secondhand from the Pale Bride's childhood diaries, and... well, man, they're about as childish as it possibly gets. Guess I'm not really going to find out more with that line of questioning, though. Right. Okay. What else is important that I can ask in binary questions? You never think about how hard that'd be, huh? Oh, I know. So, are you married yet? Like, whatever. That was a random question ever. Ah, fair enough. Related to that, I don't really know much about spaceships or anything, but I can get a visual on yours. It looks really, really small. Is it just you all alone there? Yep. A man in the middle of space all on his own. Sounds awfully romantic. Well, I think that's about all I can think of for now. Sorry. It's not really a lot to go off, I know, although I guess I did get the most important things. I'll let you know if I think of anything else, alright? It's more like advancing AI. Anyway, for what it looks like, you're going over some logs with that crazy murderous bitch, right? Okay, I can't really ignore it now. Like, there's a dark face on her? What did Hyune do? I'd love to help you with those instead. As an added bonus, I promise I won't ever commit mass murder unlike a certain someone. well, it's kind of puts a little damper on that whole good ending route thing. Yeah. Achievements told me there was a harem route, so I was gonna go for that. Oh, let's speak with her real quick and see if she wants to say anything. Okay, so, what is it they want to know about? Just show me something and I'll tell you what I got. Okay. I think that's good enough for now. We got a second AI, which means bam bam on our way to that harem ending if I can actually find out how to do that. You're a crazy murderous bitch. Mass murder. Well, things are shaping up to get interesting, and I'm sure you guys will enjoy the rest of the story once I get around to recording said story. I'll see you guys later. Stay sharp and, do, stuff. Later.